Hey everybody, welcome to the first installment of Mr. Kurt's Quarantine Concert Band Fun Zone Variety Hour. We're going to do a whole hour and 15 minutes, can you believe it? And so we are obviously going through some interesting times with the whole shelter-in-place rule, as well as schools being closed. And just because school is closed does not mean the learning stops. And I hope that we are all using this opportunity to practice as much as we can. I know that I'm taking the opportunity to practice as much as I can. We're doing a 25 days of practice promotion for Music House. So if you send us some videos of yourself practicing, if you really make a concerted effort to hit the practice room every single day from now until we get to be with each other again, then we will make sure that your hard work does not go unnoticed. Okay, so everybody keep your eyes out for that, because that's going to be really, really important. I'm hoping that we can come back to each other sounding even better than ever. And yeah, I think that, to that end, I want to kind of use this as an opportunity to almost hit the reset button and make sure that we're all developing our good habits from the very beginning. And so I'm sure that this is information that some of you might already know and some of you might be familiar with. And if there are things that you'd like to teach me, then feel free. But we are going to start by getting through the basics of putting our instrument together so that we can play with a really good tone every single time. So, the very first thing that we do when we're putting an instrument together is putting our reed in our mouth. It's very, very important to soak your reed for a good enough amount of time that it stays wet and stays pliable and soft and ready to play. If our reed isn't soaked enough, then our tone is going to be really thin and flat and not nearly as full and resonant as it could be. So, a lot of people do a lot of really weird things with their reeds. Like they put them in rock salt with a bunch of pantyhose and just leave them in a Tupperware like that. I soak my baritone and tenor saxophone reeds in a camping thermos with equal parts Listerine and water. Those bigger reeds need a lot more time to soak so that they sound good, but these little clarinet reeds, they can do just fine. And, a little insider trick to help you know if you're a real professional or not. If you can turn your reed around without touching it, then that's how you know you're a real pro, just like this. You see? If you can do that too, then you're going to be a real pro by no time. Don't worry. So, now that our reed is sufficiently soaked, we're going to put it on the mouthpiece. And again, these are things that you probably know, but I think it's really important to review them. It's really important for me to review them, just as important for you. And I've been playing clarinet for many, many years now. So if I can take the review, then so can you. So we've got our mouthpiece. We've got our reed. We want to make sure that our reed is in the right spot, just below the tip of the mouthpiece. Now, as you can see, full disclosure, my reed is not in the best shape that it could be. I foolishly waited to get more reeds before the quarantine, and now look what it's gotten me. So, we're going to make do with what we have during these trying times. I think it'll work out pretty all right, but let's just say, don't try this at home, okay? If you got bum reeds, chuck them out. You don't need them. They're no good. So, we've got our ligature on the mouthpiece, and it's about this far down on the reed, and the part with the screws are the part that's controlling the, or not controlling, the part with the screws are the part that is holding the reed, and so that's where we want to make sure the screws are that's facing out, and we want to make sure that they're tight but not too tight, because then the reed won't be able to vibrate as freely. So now that we have our mouthpiece set up properly, we want to make sure that we are taking apart and putting together the clarinet properly. So, I also foolishly forgot to get cork grease before all of this craziness happened. But you want to make sure that each cork that you have is very thoroughly greased, so that you're not putting any undue pressure on any parts of the clarinet. All of these little keys are extremely fragile, and so it's very important that we hold the clarinet properly when you're doing this. And so it's pretty much impossible to avoid twisting it around, but we want to hold it in a way that doesn't drop anything, first of all, and second of all, isn't putting too much pressure on these keys. So I like to hold the top half of the clarinet like so, holding it really tightly on the back right here where there aren't any keys, and then just placing the barrel on it like that. And then I like to put the bell of the clarinet on the bottom first, making sure that it's really tight. Again, holding it where there is very little keys, so that there's very little metal to be bent and other damage to be done. Making sure that the bell is really secure. And then once you have your two halves of the clarinet together, then putting these parts together, again, holding it where there aren't too many keys to mess up. And then you can see right here, we want to make sure that that is well lined up so that we can get the best tone that we can possibly out of our clarinet. So, adjusting is also very important. It seems as though my reed has become a bit jostled in the process of putting together this clarinet. There's a lot of moving parts. So just double check and make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be, everything is secure, and your clarinet is ready to play. Sounds a lot better, doesn't it? It's always really important, because we're not going to have each other to make sure that we're getting the best sound that we can. It's really, really important to listen to yourself and listen to the sounds that you yourself are making, so that you can make the necessary adjustments. So now that we have our clarinet put together, it's time to play. And the way that we play is always making sure that we have a very good embouchure, making sure that we have very good breath support, and making sure that we have very good overall posture. So we want to make sure that we're sitting up nice and straight. It should look like a straight line behind my back, just like that. And holding our clarinet at about a 30-degree angle. It's very important that we keep our posture straight, and we don't swoosh over like this. You're not some old jazz guy that can't even sit up straight anymore. You're young and strong and ready to play. So you want to bring your clarinet to you, holding it at about a 30-degree angle. You want to curl your bottom lip over your bottom teeth, like that, and putting the clarinet in your mouth at an angle, biting down, like that, so it's really tight, and then cinching the corners of your mouth, like your mouth has a little drawstring on it. So, bottom lip, top teeth, and then so when you follow all those steps to get a good embouchure, that is going to, every single time, get you a really good tone. And we're going to be moving on to playing now, and I want to make sure that, again, because we kind of have to be our own teachers here, and we kind of have to hold ourselves accountable for playing the way that we normally play, we want to use a metronome. And a metronome is going to keep the beat for you, okay? The metronome is going to be like the conductor of the band. So, all you need to do is type metronome into Google, METRONOME, and then a metronome will pop up. And there you go. You hit play, and there you go. It keeps the beat for you, just like that. So, we're going to be using this to keep the beat. That's what the quarter note is going to get. So if you hear it, you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know? So we're going to do the same warm-up that we do in class normally, lines 1 through 10 in our handy-dandy Essential Elements book. And we are going to do it just like how we do in class, where we just play through, okay? And I'm gonna give you the beat, and then I want you to come in with me, okay? So everybody ready to play? We've got line 1 ready to go. So we're just gonna play it through. Line 1, right into line 2, right into line 3, taking the repeats as necessary. Okay? So everybody ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Rest, 2, 3, 4. Rest, 2, line 2. Run to articulation. Rest, 2, line 3. Rest, 2, 3, 4. Big breath, line 4. Rest, 2, 3, 4. Rest, 2, ready, play. Rest, 2, 3, 4. Rest, 2, line 6. 2, 3, 4. Tongue every note. Rest, 2, 3, 4. Rest, 2, articulation. 2, 3, 4. Take the repeat. 2, 3, 4. Line 9. Sorry. Let's start that over. Line 9. Ready? Everybody? 1, 2, line 9. Ready? Play. Rest, 2, 3, 4. Rest, 2, line 10. 2, 3, 4. Take the repeat. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay. So now we can turn our metronome off. I know that metronomes are probably pretty annoying, but let me tell you, that's the quickest way that you're going to become an excellent musician, is by using a metronome. We all do it. Trust me. It's helpful. So, again, we want to make sure that we're listening to ourselves. We are troubleshooting as much as possible, focusing on our embouchure, focusing on, our breath support and our posture, so that every time we put the instrument to our mouth, we're ready to play. Okay? So, this is just going to be the first of many lessons. Please make sure to tune into the next one, and we're going to be charting your progress and rewarding it every step of the way. And I'm really, really excited for us to come back and join in even better than we were before. So stay safe, everybody. I'll see you soon.